This is the scenario of our stock market today, and this was how it looked during the financial crisis of 2008. In over a course of a month, we saw investors panicking like they haven't in a very long time. Markets all over the world saw a massive dip in prices, losing trillions of dollars. The Indian markets saw a 60% drop from a high of 12,300 to 7,500 over a course of just 1 month. And although the markets seem to be recovering right now, we need to ask real questions. Questions such as why did this drop happen so quickly and how will this affect our economy in the long haul? So let's begin. Our story starts with China, the epicenter of this crisis. And this is the NO2 emissions in Wuhan from Jan 2020 to Feb 2020. Wuhan is also known as the primary hub for industrial activity in China. What is evident is the substantial decrease in NO2 emissions in just a month's time. You see, when this pandemic was starting to rise, the Chinese government enforced a lockdown, completely shutting down all human activities, including the manufacturing industry. This was done to slow the virus from spreading. But when factories start shutting shop in China, it's not a good look anywhere in the planet. In fact, one third of all manufacturing is done in China. So when China faces a supply issue, the whole world runs in a delay. What this means is that companies that depend on China for products will face a delay in the sales and money. Meaning, if China doesn't ship its machinery, electrical equipments, and auto parts like it always does, it leaves everyone in a problem. Let's take an example to simplify this problem. You see, China is home to one of the largest auto parts manufacturing industry. So when countries having massive car companies like the US, Germany, India and Japan face a delay in products, their goal for launching an annual vehicle comes to a halt. What this does is that it pushes back their sales, which results in them missing out on billions of dollars for the yearly report. And if car manufacturing companies fail to sell their vehicles, the suppliers will also see a drop in sales and revenue. And if suppliers fail to do so, so will the raw industries that supply those raw materials. This creates a chain effect and affects the whole sector as a whole. And this is just the auto sector that we are talking about. Over the course of 2 months, we have seen other industries such as financial and energy sector go through these problems affecting the economy as a whole, resulting in layoffs and massive unemployment rates. And this cycle continues until the market hits a rock bottom like the Great Depression. Now we are undergoing through perhaps one of the greatest events in our lifetime, and that is the Great Lockdown. While the March fall in stock market was a result in China's lockdown and the virus's fear, the effect of the Great Lockdown is still yet to be felt. The lockdown brought a standstill to all manufacturing and production of most industries all over the world, and this is bad news for all economies all over the world. Typically, from the time when we start seeing a slowdown in sales from the companies to the time when we start seeing massive layoffs and dire measures, it can be anywhere between 3 to 24 months. And what this lockdown has done is that it has just solidified this uncertainty of how long this situation is going to last. Companies have been shut for over a month, and one of the biggest talking points right now is what kind of recovery might we see after the threat of the virus ceases. But before we talk about the recovery, we need to talk about the uncertainty that this lockdown has brought. You see, uncertainty in the market can breed excitement in good days, hysteria in bad ones, but on most days, it stalls decision making, and this is the biggest problem that the whole world is facing right now. No one is certain about the consequences this will bring in our lives in the future, and this is a big problem. In fact, when Daniel Ellsberg, an economist and military expert, ran an experiment, he found that people overwhelmingly chose the option where the probability of a set event was known rather than take a chance with an unknown ratio. This is called the Ellsberg Paradox. I will link the Ellsberg Paradox for you to read in the description below because going through the entire explanation will take another video. So read the explanation. I assure you it will be a good read. The underlying premise to his experiment was that people have a strong distaste for uncertainty and they would rather live in a world where they cannot change the outcomes but know the underlying problems. For simplicity, a MNC working with a real estate consultancy might simply choose to end the agreement in the face of uncertainty, and a businessman looking to start a manufacturing company might decide to make a halt in his plans due to vagueness of the present situation. The presets for normal functioning are all unknown right now. What is known is that we won't be returning to the previous life that we were living just a few months ago. The Great Lockdown is just a scheme that is meant to prepare us to enter a new world. And whilst policymakers are making decisions in uncertainty, their decisions will vastly change how quickly will businesses and entrepreneurs move on the path for recovery. However, if policymakers stall decision making, the paralysis of our economy will haunt us for a very long time. So, this was all about the economy in our present scenario. I hope we get more clarity on how policymakers plan to pull us through this dire situation so that businesses and employees can together chart their way to recovery. And if you liked our content, please smash the like and hit the subscription button down below. We will come up with similar content with research and analysis. Until next time, me out.